smiled. Relief flooded through Forte at the sight of Kai's brilliant white teeth contrasted against the backdrop of his dark skin. The man had a grin that could disarm an entire crowd.
"She's fallen asleep."
Kai reached Forte in a few long strides, his uniquely resonant voice pitched low so it didn't travel too far down the corridors.
"I asked her a few questions, but she wasn't able to answer in much detail. I'll be back in a few hours to question her again once the initial sedation has worn off. The doctor tells me she'll be more lucid after she's had a chance to rest and recover from the shock."
The doctor had grudgingly given Forte a more detailed catalog of Sophie's injuries. Superficial cuts and scrapes from the asphalt of the parking lot were the least of the worries, though the most visible at the moment. Mild tinnitus would mess with their hearing for a while longer, but was likely temporary. The cars around them and the dumpster had saved them from the shockwave of the explosion, thankfully. But contusions incurred from falling to the ground would start surfacing in a couple of days, and Sophie would be aching, sore, and in some pain from those. The biggest concern at the moment was her right ankle. She'd twisted it severely as they had gone down, and they'd need x-rays to determine whether it was broken. It could have been worse. Unspeakably worse. Still, Forte considered every one of those injuries his fault. If he'd recognized Haydn's signal sooner, gotten her away from the car more quickly, she might not have been hurt as badly. He had his fair share of scrapes and bruises, too, especially across the outsides of his forearms, but he'd learned a long time ago how to fall and get to his feet ready to take action. Sophie had learned to land on mats at Revolution MMA in the women's self-defense workshops, not on hard asphalt with things blowing up around her. She'd stiffened up as they went to the ground and hadn't quite rolled with him as he'd tried to distribute their momentum. It had been enough for her to come out the worse for wear between the two of them, despite his attempt to protect her from flying shrapnel.
"I'll stay with her."
Forte didn't expand on how long. It wasn't even a question. He'd watch over her while she needed him.
"Her family's out of town, from what I gathered."
Kai didn't pull out his notebook. The police officer had an excellent memory. Forte guessed he took notes only for the benefit of the people he interviewed.
"Yearly visit to South Korea."
Forte considered the date.
"They should be back just before Christmas in about a month and a half."
He'd been considering how to reach out to them. He wasn't her father's favorite person in the world. Actually, the exact opposite. They hadn't spoken since Forte had graduated high school, and her father wouldn't be happy to speak to Forte now. The man had made it clear all those years ago that it didn't matter what kind of person Forte grew into being. Forte would never be a good enough person. And her father was right. Forte was not a good man.
"Sophie didn't want them contacted."
Kai grimaced. Forte shared the man's frustration. Family should be contacted, but Sophie was an adult, and even if she was out of it currently due to medication, her life wasn't immediately in danger. At least, not from her injuries.
"I'm betting she managed to mumble about being back on her feet by tomorrow and no need to freak everyone out. She tried to make you promise to let her family enjoy their vacation, didn't she?"
Even as Forte finished the thought, Kai sighed.
"You know her better than anyone."
Yeah, he did. Forte chuckled.
"I've known her a long time. Don't worry, I'll be here. Lynn and Elisa will probably be here as soon as the doctors say she can have visitors."
With Lynn Jones and Elisa Hall would come David Cruz and Alex Rojas, respectively. Sophie was a part of Hope's Crossing Kennels even if she didn't work there. Oh, she kept the accounting on track, but in reality, she was the heart of Hope's Crossing Kennels. Her caring came in the form of home-baked rolls, pastries, and cupcakes. Her laughter filled the shared kitchen in the main house, and every dog had learned the sound of her footsteps on the grounds. He wouldn't have it any other way.
"Blood is family."
Kai paused.
"Family can be more than blood. I'll have a word with the doctor about each of you."
"Thank you." Forte's throat closed some at the thought.